live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Nugeroom. I am one of your hosts. I am Barry Nugent, and the other host is...
That's me, Anthony McGarry-Thickett, or
Hey.
Wedge Dog, if you will.
Yeah, or Nuge, as you will. Not you, me.
I'm not Nuge.
No. More's the pity.
Nuge is what I aspire to be.
You don't have to aspire too hard, mate.
Well, I mean, it all depends on where you are, doesn't it? You know, if your baseline is like ground level, fine. But I'm kind of like at the bottom of the what's it trench at the moment. The Mariana Trench.
Yeah. So we are back, and we are moving away from the COVID talk that we've had the last two episodes. It's just to sort of talk about some other stuff, really. If you want to find out about what's going on with COVID, there's plenty of other places you could do that. So we just want to talk about something different this week. And we're completely moving medium, so moving away from comics this week, and we're putting our focus on gaming today. So main reason for this chat is Ant and I both purchased Ghost Recon Breakpoint some time ago, which is the latest Ghost Recon game, which came out, I don't know when it came actually, last year sometime.
Last year, I think the beta was in September last year, so
Yeah.
I think it was released in like October, November, something like that.
Yeah. And as a bit of background, I'm a massive Ghost Recon fan. I've played every single Ghost Recon game that's come out, and I've always really enjoyed them. And when this game came out, it didn't do particularly well with the fans, and it didn't do particularly well with reviews. Just looking at just some of the reviews, PC Gamer gave it 40%.
That's harsh.
Digital Trends gave it 6 out of 10, slightly better. Games Radar gave it 2.5 out of 5. IGN gave it 6 out of 10. So it's kind of ranged from average to poor reviews. I don't think I found anyone where it's been given like a massively stonking review.
Yeah, the average for it on Metacritic at the moment is 57.
Yeah. And it's been plagued by bugs and just complaints. And one of the big complaints that people had was it's the first Ghost Recon game anyway, where there's been no AI teammates, which has always been a big sort of staple of the series, and it's certainly been something I've loved as someone who always plays it single player for the most part. I know sometimes me and you co-op, but for the most part I've played it single player, so having those teammates have always been pretty cool. But the reason we're doing this, the reason it's made this edition of the Nugeroom is that recently Ubisoft brought out a massive update to it, which is called Update. Is it Update Title 2.0?
But it's the Ghost experience specifically that interested us, wasn't it?
Yeah, specifically the Ghost experience. So I've done enough talking. Do you want to just give people a bit of a layout of what the Ghost experience is?
Yeah, so the Ghost experience is when the game was launched, essentially it was all very much sort of level driven, not just in the character but in equipment. So if you found a gun, it might be a better level than the one you've currently got, therefore do more damage. The higher your gear level, the more areas you could go to and stuff. What Ubisoft have done is they've released the Ghost experience, which kind of removes that and gives it a bit more of a realistic, in inverted commas, sort of vibe. So you can the other thing that's really cool actually is you can custom your own experience. But essentially, they've got an immersive experience in it, which means that if you find a gun, you've just got that gun, and you can switch to it if you want to or not. You can still upgrade your guns in and improve them sort of within the game if you want, but it doesn't affect your overall level. It's just kind of like slight refinements. It also does something that I think all modern shooters should do anyway, which is if you eject a clip halfway through using a clip, you lose the rest of the contents of that clip. So your bullets, your kind of ammo level is a bit more. It's more important to sort of manage it, so you don't just fire 2 shots and reload, unless you want to lose an extra 20 bullets.
Yeah.
Which, weirdly, even though as I say, it's something that I've been crying out for in games for a long time, because I've always thought it's silly that you get rid of like a 20 round magazine and you've only lost 2 rounds or whatever. So yeah, the other things are you can customize things like, so by default in the base game, the minimap will show you roughly where enemies are. You've got like red clouds where there are enemies of some description. You can turn that off, so you have no idea, and that that affects things. And also in the base game, when you went to the central hub location, you would be in there with up to essentially 32 or 64 other people potentially, depending how many people are on the server, so that you can matchmake and stuff. Whereas now you can have a completely private server, which is just you and your party, which is another change. And also another element of realism is that the shop that's available in that location used to be available at the little bivouac campsites around the map, which are places where you just hold up for a bit and have a bit of food and drink to give yourself a bit of a buff and stuff. But you used to be able to get access to the shop there, so you could like call in a helicopter or a car or whatever, or get some new weapons. But you can only do that now in the hub area, which again makes more realistic sense. So the idea is they're basically trying to allow you to have a more realistic experience, but the ability to custom it to however you want. So I've left icons on the map so I can still see like where loot is and stuff, but I've turned off the radar where people are and stuff from that kind of level.
Yeah. And the other thing to mention as well is that you can, if you're doing a custom experience or if you're doing a regular experience, it shouldn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that. So I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, and I think there's things you can do, like you can limit the number of bandages you can use, because in the game, when you get injured, you've got the option of you can either use a kind of health syringe, or you can actually, if you're seriously wounded, you can bandage up your wound. But you only get but in the original game, I think you could use the bandages as many times as you wanted.
Yeah, the bandages were unlimited. And they've got various settings now, so I think you can have like up to like, I think it's like either 4, 12 or unlimited.
Yeah, I think I've got mine to 12.
That's what I've got mine on, I think.
Yeah, I mean, so to get into it, I've been playing this on the immersive experience, but also even within the immersive experience, you can go in and you can customize it, which isn't the same level of customization as the custom experience, but you can still tweak things. So I've pretty much taken their settings, apart from I think on the mini map. I think I've done what you've done, and most of the time, all I really see on the map, unless I, press up on the cursor, is just the compass.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool, because when you do get into a firefight or something, the compass sort of flashes red, so you know that you've been spotted and that sort of stuff. And obviously, you still get the messages to sort of say someone's heard a shot or body's been found, that sort of thing.
But you can turn those messages off as well. Yeah, I haven't done that yet, though.
Oh, okay.
That seems like a step too far.
Yeah, it does.
At the end of the day, it's still a game.
Yeah. And so I've got to say, I didn't think when they announced this, a part of me was like, it just felt a bit, really? Because a lot of times when games get updated, it doesn't really do much for me. I'm playing the game anyway. I don't necessarily notice a big change. And I was thinking the same thing with this, like, how different is it really going to be? And to be honest, before I started playing the update, I was enjoying Ghost Recon. I'd kind of gone off the boil a little bit with it, but I was enjoying it. It wasn't that I didn't accept the fact that it had flaws, because it does have flaws, but I was still enjoying the experience of playing the game.
Yeah.
However, I've been playing a fair bit of the immersive experience, and I've got to say it is completely changed the way I play the game. And to sort of give an example, I think I told this to you the other day. It was I'd hiked to a bivouac. Normally I would fast travel, but I hiked to the bivouac, dodging sort of any enemy patrols as I went. But I didn't have the radar in the same way, so a lot of the time it was by sight. I was like, oh shit, there's a patrol and I had to get down, or I'd hear a drone and I had to get down. So I hiked to this bivouac and sort of took a rest and all the rest of it, because I had quite a good distance to go and I didn't want to fast travel. And I thought that's fine. Once I come out of the bivouac, I'll just get a helicopter because that's what I normally do. Came out of the bivouac and I was like, well, where's the sodden helicopter? And then that's when I realised, oh, that's what they meant about you don't get the shot.
Yeah.
So I started walking. So I looked on the map, and it was a fairly heavily guarded base nearby, but they had a helicopter there. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go for it. So I scouted the place out and stole a helicopter. Then I flew to the coastline, and I just decided I didn't want to fly all the way. So I landed at the coastline and then stole a boat and then went by boat the rest of the way because it was basically an island they had to get to.
Yeah.
And all the firefights that I got into whilst I was playing, I was mindful of the fact that if I reloaded, I lost all the bullets. And I found that my snipering got better to the point of I was getting down to one bullet left and I was saving it to take someone out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to waste it, which I've never done before. Normally, I'm just a bullet guy. I'm just firing bullets left, right, and centre. And normally, I just reload straight away, reload. But yeah, I have to say, since I've started, it took me a little while, but since I started playing it now, I'm constantly looking to see how many, after I've been in the firefight, I'm constantly looking to see how much ammo I've got left.
Yeah.
And sort of going, right, well, I'm not going to reload. I've still got bullets. I'm all good. I'm going to move on type thing. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I must. I mean, for me, I kind of because I sent you a message that I'm just not, my brain's not in it or something.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking tactically because I kind of logged in and for some reason I don't even know why I was outside this base and I thought I'm clearly trying to get something in this base, so I'm going to infiltrate this base and do whatever I was doing. I couldn't find a mission for it or anything, so I don't really know what I was doing there. It's probably just to get a collectible or something.
Yeah.
And I turned off the red haze on the radar and stuff.
Yeah.
But my brain hadn't registered the fact that I'd done that. So I just ran up the wall straight into a minigun guy. Got annihilated. I was like, well, he didn't show up on my Oh, yeah. Of course he didn't.
Yeah.
And I just kept I kept trying things. And I think I've set the enemy AI because you can set the difficulty level of the AI and stuff. And I think I've got it on I don't know if it's on the normal or slightly higher than what it was.
Oh, okay.
And I have noticed a difference. It's so what I've started doing now is because I was literally when I was playing it, I haven't really done much of the main objectives at all. I've sort of been just wandering around and finding collectibles and stuff.
Yeah.
But yesterday I started to play and I thought, right, I'm going to do some of these faction missions, which are limited short time objectives that they put in and they form their own little mini stories in the game.
Yeah.
And I was in the Mount Hodgson region, which is the middle of the map where you kind of where the main hub is and stuff.
That Erewhon is
Erewhon area, yeah. And I thought, all right, okay, I've got 3 or 4 of these little missions to do in this area, so I'll go and do some. And the first one I did was really easy. It was kind of one of those ones, when you kind of go in, you do a mission, and it's you come out of it feeling like the dog's doodads.
Yeah.
It's I'm a properly operative. Nothing went wrong with that. And then I kind of went off to the next bit, which was I had to, and it was a mining complex that I'd actually just cleared out the day before as well, kind of thing. But there was a mission in there, I had to clear it out, and that meant killing everyone in the place. And it took me 5 goes, because again, it was kind of I'd miss a shot with a sniper rifle, and they'd instantly dive behind cover or something, and then call out, and then the bloody communications guy would call for reinforcements, and a helicopter would come over. And I was just finding it really sort of difficult if I made a mistake. But I quite like that because it was kind of to the point where I could get away if I wanted to, but my stubbornness and my kind of feeling of, it's just the game, I can do this, was getting the better of me a lot of the time, and I was just getting wasted. And then when I kind of almost went away, made a cup of tea, came back, I thought about it, I then had a much better approach, and it was kind of right, take out the sniper. These 2 guys are on patrol, take them out. Take out the 2 guys near the helicopter, but leave 1 because I actually don't mind if the helicopter takes off and goes away, because that means that potentially everyone who gets in it, I don't have to clear out. And I was going around and I was much more in control kind of thing. But I still then, it's I was getting into situations afterwards where it was kind of oh yeah, I'll just go and take out this place while I'm here. And then just, not thinking Ghost Recon, basically. I was kind of thinking bullet sponge.
Yeah.
And you're not in this game, and you never were. Even with before this Ghost Experience mode came in, it was always quite realistic. And if you got hit in the head once or twice, you were dead, sort of thing. And I've always quite liked that about the Ghost Recon games, that they are a bit more realistic in that sense, anyway. But yeah, I mean, I like you say, it added a new level, and even I play games, and I usually do try not to reload as much as I can, but it's automatic. You kind of you finish a firefight, you don't look at your ammo, you just hit reload.
Yeah.
But I was getting in that same situation as you. But unlike you, what I found was that I'd find if I had 2 bullets left, and I had 2 guys to kill, I'd nail the first one, but then stress would get the better than me, and I'd miss the second one.
Yeah.
So then I was reloading, and he'd get behind cover, and then it would go all strike back on me, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I had a few. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of that as well. But it's interesting hearing you say about going in and getting nailed and going back, because I was having the same experience where one particular mission I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and it must have been 6-7 times I just died. And then I left it, came back in the morning, and sort of sat. I remember I was sitting on a sort of grass verge above the sort of base I need to go into, and properly scoped it out. I was like, where am I going wrong? I was like, right, for a start, even though I have to make my way all the way around, I need to take out the radio guy, because that's where it's always going wrong.
Yeah, the radio guy is key.
Yeah, so I'm like, I've got to take him out. Then I got sniped, but then he's in sight of someone, so I said, so I can't take him out first. I need to take out the other guy first, then take him out, then take out 2 snipers, and then we got a game. Because at least then, if it kicks off, there's no reinforcements coming. I've only got to deal with the people that are in there, and I know where they all are now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say breeze through it, but I did it without much effort.
Yeah.
And nothing could change. It was just the fact that I approached it in a far more tactical manner than I'd ever done before.
That's the thing. Your brain has to be in the right zone. And the thing I find is, if I get it wrong once, I seem to then just not get out of that rut of I just get in the same mistake after the same mistake, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was just going to say the other thing I found, because you mentioned about scoping out where everyone is. The other thing I found is I'm a lot more cautious with my drone now as well, because you had the red haze on the map, you kind of go over an area and just keep looking until it cleared.
Yeah.
But now you kind of have to hover there and wait for a bit in case there's someone just coming around a corner, and you have to be, because I've missed people, because they're either in a building or they're out the way, and you haven't got that red haze, so you don't know. So even when I think I've got the entire base sorted, I'll either wait for a bit just to make sure, or when I go in, bear in mind that actually there could be other enemies about that I've just not noticed. And it does have a heck of an effect on your mind when you're playing.
Yeah, and also as well, what I quite like is it's a nice blend between. Because my head's not in the game for a full-on stealth game, But what I quite like is now I feel that it's balanced itself much more, so I can do the stealth stuff, and to a certain extent I kind of have to if I'm playing solo. But when it kicks off, which is what I quite like as well, I can still do what we call going straight back. I can still do all of that. And I had one where I went in somewhere and it all kicked off and I got out into the bushes and they tracked me and I kind of took them out one at a time, did a couple of the prone camo things and took them out.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about it, is that you do get punished if you get seen, but it's not that you can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, you do have to you have to have your wits about it to get out of it, but you can get out of it, as you say.
And I like now that, I know we talked about this the other day and you said it didn't really bother you in the same way, but from again, realism point of view, I quite like the fact that when I now go back to Erewhon, I haven't got 30 odd people that I don't know just crowding around trying to get to the same bit I'm trying to get to because they're other players.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I didn't mind it was because of the setup that they had at the beginning, where it was it was 64 people going in, 32 came out. So that hub area had everyone in, and I kind of accepted it for that. But it is nicer when it's just me. I mean, we've not played this co-op yet, this version.
No.
But yeah, it is much nicer with that. What's your main sort of they're not called classes, are they? What do they call them in it?
I know. Yeah, I think mine's Assault. Is the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it tiers?
No, it's not the tiers, because the tiers is your level.
Okay.
But actually, talking about tiers before we move on to the class and sport, I was going to say on that is for more casual, in inverted commas, gamers, as in if you just want to come in, play for half an hour or an hour and come out, the new way, the immersive way, is much better because you don't have that grind that you had before.
Yeah.
So like the behemoth site. So basically, there's a lot of giant drones that patrol certain areas, and there's certain loot in there that you can only get in those areas, or that you have to take out as part of the story. Because they were like level 150, it's like, I put quite a few hours into the game, and I'm like before this, I was gear level 23. So there's a big grind before I'm ready to take that on. Whereas now it's just a case of what equipment would you realistically take with you to do that?
To take on, yeah.
Yeah, and again, it kind of helps with that style of gameplay without, if you want the grind, have the grind, and I actually didn't mind the grind, but I knew there was a grind. How many times can I say grind in one paragraph?
Quite a lot.
Apparently. But yeah, the new way of thinking, I think, is it's better for jumping in and out style of gameplay, because you don't have to worry about that. You just worry about, okay, I want to go and take out this. I know there's vehicles there, so I need to take some ordnance with me, rather than my usual loadout of, I've got because my main, I'll say class. I don't think they call them classes in it, but you've essentially got 6. So there's the 4 that were the base game, which was Panther, which I'm doing, which sort of
no, it says classes in the notes.
Is it classes? Is it?
Yeah, because there's 2 new classes got added.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because it's the original there was 4, so you had Assault, which is your general soldier dude, Medic, Panther, which is what I do, which is sort of like more of a recon kind of guy, but kind of a close-up recon, so you can disappear from view with your smoke and stuff, and then Sniper. And then they've introduced Engineer and what was the other one?
Echelon.
Yeah, I can't remember what they do.
Echelon class. I don't know what they do, but I'm guessing it's going to be tied in with Splinter Cell because.
Yeah, of course, that's 3rd echelon, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I play mainly as a Panther. As I said, I've got that to its top sort of rating, which I then keep forgetting to use. Like when I get in trouble, my special ability is I can drop a smoke bomb and Batman out of there, but I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah, so, I don't even know what my special ability is. I do the assault thing. I don't even know what that does. But sort of because I'm aware of fact we're now like at 30 minutes and we don't want to be going on for too long. But what I wanted to ask is, do you think the graphics have been tweaked at all?
I don't, because I still get exactly the same graphical glitches as I was doing before.
Okay.
But you said this before when we played it. I think going from the beta to the launch as well. You said you thought it looked a lot better, which I didn't particularly notice then either.
Yeah, it might just be me.
But I mean, the graphics, and don't get me wrong, the graphics are nice. There's nothing wrong with them. But I do get quite a lot of graphical glitches on mine. Especially in like cutscenes. If I'm talking to someone, quite often it'll be like weird lighting effects or like almost like lines at the top of the screen and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm out in the world, it'll almost be like, not like everything's pixelated, but it's almost like there's a pixelated filter over the top of it.
Yeah.
Which I've always noticed. The one change I do wish they would do before we wrap up is give you the ability to climb.
Yes. That drives me up, literally up the wall.
Because it's kind of very occasionally it'll say you can climb and you basically do like a ledge mount thing, but then there's nothing up there for you to walk up, so you slip down. And the number of times I've wanted to go over a mountain and I just can't. And it's like, I'm a Spec Ops operative. Why haven't I got climbing equipment?
I think that's the thing that I find really frustrating is you're supposed to be this sort of badass A-team style operative and you can't even like climb over a hill.
Yeah. It's the age-old thing of video game characters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stopped by a knee-high wall.
Yeah, and I think, like you say, I think a climbing mechanic would be great, and being able to sort of like hold down or something like that, I think give that game, that would really raise that game for me.
Yeah, imagine if in co-op you could rappel out of a helicopter, do a fast stroke down.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
What if you're flying the helicopter and 3 other guys just rappelling down?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, like I say, I mean, I know they're working on the AI teammate stuff, and I would like to see that, but I would really love to see them sort out the climbing aspect of it.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's just frustrating.
Yeah, it is, and I think there's a lot of legs. Personally, I know a lot of people have said really to sort of round up. Just looking around, a lot of people who have been playing the game before and not happy about it have been sort of saying, "Now this has kind of brought them back to the game, and now they're really enjoying it. Now they've got the immersive experience." And a lot of people are saying this is the game it should have been when it launched.
Yeah, I think I know what they were trying to do with the launch version, and I don't not like it. I always enjoyed playing it, and I accepted the grind that was there. And I could see, that the whole point was it was to have that almost like loot box system without having loot boxes, and to encourage people to play more. So that you're looking for loot, you're looking for the next better weapon, and all the rest of it. And I appreciate that, but I think certainly how they've got it now, where you have the option of playing it any way you like, is amazing. And in many ways, I prefer what they've done now, because if it had been just the immersive experience at launch, I would love it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think we'd get to the point. You wouldn't have the point now where you could play it any style you want. And I like that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. I think the bad press has sort of forced them down the road, really, hasn't it, to sort it out.
But at least they've done it. They could have
no,
just written it off.
that's what I mean. It would, and that's what I'm really impressed with, because you're right. It would have been really easy for them to have just gone, well, do you know what? The game's out there now.
Yeah,
it's not perfect, but we'll learn for the next Ghost Recon. But it's the fact that actually they've gone, no, we've got a solid base to wood. We believe we've got a solid base to work on, so let's work on it. So yeah, I'll be interested to see if it ever does bring AI teammates into it. They say they're working on it, so
yeah, it'd be good. I mean, I said the class I've got is I've also got I've got the sync drone. I don't know if you can get that on as an assault. But
I've got the sync drone.
So that's pretty good, because you sort of get that element that you get with the AI, because you can use. I think you can have up to 5 in total.
Right.
So you can but you can only use 3 at a time. So you can mark 3 people, shoot the 4th one yourself, and as you do that, the drones will take out the other 3.
Yeah.
But then you can only really do that twice, because you've got a max of 5. So you've got you could do 3 on one and 2 on another or something.
Yeah.
But I have used that to my advantage a couple of times. I had one of these little faction missions I was doing was take out a rogue patrol, and there were 4 of them, and I was like, you know what? 3 sync drones, 1 shot from me, job boxed, move on.
Yeah.
And again, I came out of it thinking, that was using my tools properly.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I think we've covered off everything we wanted to cover off.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a fan of Ghost Recon, if you've been playing the game, if you've bought Breakpoint and you've been playing it, drop us a line. Let us know what you think of the update. Let us know if it's working for you any better, or if there's more changes that you wanted, that sort of thing. And maybe we'll circle back round to this. Certainly, I'd like to circle back round when we've done a bit of co-op on it, sort of give our experiences from a co-op perspective. Yeah,
we'll try and get some game footage as well. Maybe. Maybe get a video version, because I've not got much of the new update. In fact, I've not got any of the new updates. So if we do some co-op, we'll do that. I'll do some recording, and we'll get that up as well.
Cool. So, as always, if you want to get in touch with us, our email is thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk. We're on Twitter, Geek Syndicate. We're on Instagram, Geek Syndicate again. We are knocking about on Facebook. If you want to leave us a review on iTunes, that would be great. If you want to donate to the upkeep of the podcast and the website, you can do that via PayPal at the aforementioned email address. I think that pretty much covers it, doesn't it?
The only other thing to say is we are Barry's trying to keep the COVID-19 page that we've got on the website updated. So
yes.
Keep looking on there for new ideas and new things to do. I think that's everything.
Yeah. So we will be back hopefully next week with another topic. And if you've got any suggestions for topics, then use the aforementioned social media links or drop us an email to let us know.
Indeed.
Cool. So, see you next week, all.
Bye from me.